using the adaptive cruise control system inside of the new S650 Mustang is straightforward. I'm going to show you how it works. So you've got a series of different buttons along the left pad in order to make it happen. And then there are some settings that you can set up through the Sync 4 screen that I'll show you here as well. This one's a speed limit assist. I'm not a big fan of that one, so we won't worry about that one today. This is how you turn on the adaptive cruise control, and you can tell because right in the tachometer there, it's going to either show or hide a car. So you know that it's activated, but in order to, or it's, sorry, I should say turned on, but in order to activate, you have to start driving. And then you set it, and then you can increase or decrease 1 kilometer or 1 mile per hour at a time. If you need to cancel, you can hit the brake, and that's going to cancel it. You can also press this X button. Other option is that as you start to, let's say if you have to brake or you hit the X button, you hit this again in order to resume your previously set speed. This is a distance indicator. So how close or far are you away from the vehicle that's in front of you? Think of it like a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi type of a rule. And then this is a lane keeping system. Works 3 different ways. So way number 1, if you start to veer over into another lane without signaling, it's going to either give you a steering wheel shake or gently nudge you back into your lane, or do a mixture of both things, depending on what you've set up in the Sync 4 screen. So let's go through the screen. And in order to be able to adjust some things, going to go out to Features, Driver Assistant Settings, and we've got a series of options here. So this is for the adaptive cruise control system, which is the set it and forget it cruise. If you hate the idea of adaptive cruise, you can switch out to a normal cruise control system instead. But the adaptive, I love it because let's say if you set it at 100 kilometers an hour on the highway, car in front of you slows down, yours is automatically going to brake. So I definitely recommend keeping it on the adaptive cruise. Lane centering is different than the lane keeping system. So lane keeping is going to nudge you back into your lane or shake the steering wheel versus the, let's see, where are we here? Cruise, the lane centering system. What that's going to do is that's going to keep you perfectly balanced in your lane as long as it recognizes the lane markings. So it's not the same as Ford's Blue Cruise system, but still it is pretty damn close and it's a really good system at the same time. Predictive speed assist is an interesting one. So if it recognizes there's bends coming up in the road or if it recognizes the speed's dropping, it's going to automatically lower your speed if you've got the adaptive cruise system turned on. But it's all based on this tolerance level. So if you've got the tolerance to 0, let's say if it goes from 80 to 60, it's going to automatically lower you to 60. But you can set a plus or minus either way if you want to. So if the speed changes, and let's say if it's at 20 under, it's just not going to change whatsoever. So you've got options there. And then that's different than the speed limit. Oh, I don't like speed limit assist. So you could, I just recommend turning the speed limit assist off. But if you're if you've got a lead foot, you're concerned about it, you do have the flexibility of turning these things on with different tolerance levels. So it's gonna let you know you're going a little bit too fast, give you a warning, etc. So yeah, I wouldn't say that's a big one. I normally keep that speed limit assist off, but the adaptive cruise is the big one. So adaptive cruise, keep lane centering on, and predictive speed is useful if you've got a little bit of a lead foot or you want to have a little bit more of a passive driving experience. Okay, so I'm going to set it. Current road speed is at 80. There we go. So you can see there, I'm currently set at 80. Lane centering's turned on, and you can see that the vehicle is recognizing what's going on around me there. So you can see that it's keeping me nice and balanced in the lane as I go here. So my hand is just hovering over the wheel, but the vehicle is determining what's going on. It is, like I said, a very nice system. Now I've hit the brake, and you can see there that inside of the cluster, it's also essentially grayed out the speed that I was set at. And that's just a basic safety setting because I've hit the brake. But I go, and watch this. I can hit resume now, and that's going to resume my previously set speed there. So it's recognized the lane markings. You can see that along the side. So if I start to veer over into another lane without signaling, it nudges me back into the lane. So watch this. Again, it's nudging me back in, but it's even taking me around a bend. So even around a bend here, I'm not doing anything. The car is literally doing it for me here. It's lost one of the lanes, but it should pick it back up in just a second. There you go. So you can see there, it's now recognized both lanes again. And we're just cruising. So we're on an 80 road. So I want you to watch these things as we go. So I'm on an 80 road right now, and I've got the speed set at 80. But same idea, I start to veer over into another lane, nudges me back over. So that's where that lane centering system and the lane keeping system come into play, because I could turn off the lane keeping system, and now if I get too far over, it's not nudging me back into the lane again. But lane centering, as we go around a bend, it's going to keep me perfectly balanced in the lane as I go, as long as it recognizes the lane markings there. So there's a car in front of me that's going a little bit slower, so you should start to see that speed start to drop in just a second here. Yeah, so you can see, and then it's taking me around the bend. So maybe my hands aren't on the wheel, but it's rotating it automatically. So it's not quite up to par with Ford's Blue Cruise system, but it is still very close at the same time. Beautiful. And I'm on an 80 road. Car's got me going 71 just because the car in front of me is going a little bit slower. But watch this, because the speed here is going to change from 80 to 60 in a second, and then it's automatically going to start slowing me down here too. Okay, so the car in front of me is slowing down. This thing's slowing down. Is it going to pick up that change in speed? Yes, it did. So it went from 80 to 60, and it's automatically changed my speed because I've got the tolerance level set to 0. So it's automatically slowing me down there. But beautiful system. Love it. It's nice and smart. And again, we're going around bends. It's keeping me nice and perfectly balanced in the lane here as I go. You do need to keep pressure on the steering wheel, but still, that's pretty nice. So distance indicator, how close or far do you want to be away from the vehicle that's in front of you? You can toggle the system on or off. There's a speed limit assist, increase or decrease 1 kilometer or 1 mile per hour at a time. And then you've got the resume function here. So light's about to go green. So as I start rolling, same idea, start going. Resume. Oh, too low, so I got to start going a bit faster, and there we go. Perfect. So it's picking me right back up to that set speed again. And same idea, like the road speed here changes a few times, so it's automatically going to increase or decrease the speed, just depending on what's going on around you. And you will find that that happens sometimes. So I've got it set to 60. So sometimes if the RPMs go a little bit higher, it's going to push you a little bit over the speed limit, but it'll bring you right back down again. Okay, and we're going to another speed sign change. So we're going from 60 down to 50 in a second. So you're going to see that speed update there. There you go. So you can see it's updating, and it's lowering my speed automatically for me. When you slow down that way, so if you're not hitting the brake yourself, it still is going to hit the brakes for you, and the brake lights will come on. So as the vehicle's doing anything, if it's speeding you, or if it's slowing you down, don't worry about it. People in the back will know, because the brakes will come on for you there. And that was how you use the adaptive cruise control in the S650 Mustang. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below and let me know. You can find walkthroughs on how to use the paddle shifters, walkthroughs on the Mustangs and things like that in the description of the video too. But if you found this one useful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until I see you next time, take care.